Greetings everyone, welcome back to another video where I try to cover various pieces from the lore of the Rimworld universe. As in the last video I covered the mechanoids and their lore, it seemed only fitting to cover the insectoids in this one, as the two are closely relevant to each other in terms of their lore. How? We'll get to that soon. First, let's start with the basis. What are the insectoids? If the name isn't enough to reveal it, insectoids are a race of giant insects that live underground or within mountain tunnels. They're known for surfacing and attacking colonies or villages from planets they have infested when attracted by loud noises or pheromone signals. Their planet of origin is called Sorn, which in French, a language originally from planet Earth, means a topographic name for someone who lived by a spring or stream, from Occitan borna, spring, a word of Celtic origin, originally denoting a natural cavity. The name of the planet Sorn can also mean conception, a term coined in Basque by a Spanish writer named Sabino Arana in 1910 as an equivalent of the Spanish word concepcion, another language originally from planet Earth. While originally from Sorn, various interstellar entrepreneurs managed to capture, genetically modify, and vat-grow insectoid colonies in order to use them as living weapons to counter mechanoid invasions, presumably by releasing the insectoids and allowing them to thrive on planets overrun by mechanoids. Those insectoids will start building large hives underground, forming their own ecosystem while attacking and destroying any mechanoids encountered in the process, basically the equivalent of fighting fire with fire. While mechanoids weren't exactly capable of endlessly refabricating each other, insectoids could easily reproduce given the proper conditions and slowly but steadily overrun mechanoids through sheer numbers. Perhaps not the best of tactics, since even if insectoids would emerge victorious, that will leave the planet with a new problem under the form of an insectoid infestation. Perhaps the next step of the plan was to use a planet-sized bug spray to get rid of the insectoids afterwards? But I'm going to go ahead and say that's an unlikely scenario, as insectoids are capable of fully thriving within toxic wastelands and environments. We can assume that this plan didn't exactly work as intended, as many colonies on various rimworlds across the galaxy still present a large number of mechanoids, while also facing a new insectoid threat, a problem especially present for colonies that choose to live within mountains or caves. Within mountain bases, which are a popular choice sometimes among Rimworld colonies and survivors, especially for the dermal xenohumans, due to their strategic advantage of being easily defendable from enemy attacks, since the mountains themselves serve as natural walls to stop or at the very least slow down invaders and raiders, insectoids can quickly become a problem, as they will at times emerge from within the underground, potentially invading and infesting bedrooms, armories, or storage rooms, and not only threatening the people inside, but also disrupting the workflow of a colony, which, if combined with other threats, can present a problem both short and long term. There are some strategies to lower chances of infestations occurring in the first place within mountain bases, namely by lowering the overall temperature of a colony through the use of coolers, as insectoids seem to prefer warmer environments, or by walling off higher risk areas in order to reduce navigable space. These strategies might not be worth the hassle long term, as they will also hinder colonists living within the base as well. Namely, for example, low temperatures will lower work speed and the general quality of life, while making the base itself harder to navigate will also lower the overall efficiency of the colony itself. But even outside of mountains, insectoids still present a solid threat. Colonies on Rimworlds are very reliant on various resources like steel, plasteel, and uranium in order to fabricate and craft tools and weapons, and one way to easily obtain these resources is through the usage of a deep drill, a repositionable rig capable of extracting resources from beneath the soil. This does not come without risk, however, as more often than not, deep drills can end up accidentally digging into underground insectoid hives and disturb them, causing insectoids to start digging upwards with the sole intent of attacking whoever dared to disturb their peace and quiet. Insectoids make use of hives for two reasons. The first one is for reproduction, as hives are capable of gestating and creating more insectoids. The second use is possibly for nutrition, as hives will also generally produce insect jelly, a nutritious substance with a smooth and rich flavor, often gathered by humans for their own consumption, as insect jelly seems to prove itself as a delicacy, filling the stomach and lifting the mood of anyone who will consume it. As far as we know, insectoids come under 3 different types, each with their own role to fulfill within the hive they live in. The first insectoid type is the megascarab. Megascarabs are essentially very large beetles, and their role is that of a worker. They have large mandibles and tough shells, proving rather effective in melee combat. Megascarabs can also be found on the surface in the wild, not belonging to any hive, and have a life expectancy of 10 years. The second insectoid type is the spelopede. Spelopedes also fulfill the role of workers within insectoid castes, but they are a literal step up from the megascarab. Spelopedes are first of all much larger, about the size of a sheep. They work and fight by using powerful digging claws, and their life expectancy is usually of 6 years. The third insectoid type is the strongest one encountered so far, specifically the megaspider. Despite the name, megaspiders are not actually arachnids, they are still insects. But if you thought the spelopede was large, try comparing it to the megaspider, which its size is similar to that of a bear. Megaspiders were genetically engineered for heavy work within the hive, and also as the strongest combat force. They are very resilient to damage, as their bodies are protected by a thick chitinous carapace, while they are capable of delivering deadly blows by using powerful ripper claws. As far as we know of, those 3 insectoids are the only known members of the insectoid caste, and while they are loyal members of their hive, if left without one, insectoids become much tamer, displaying less hostility towards humans. In some cases, a few brave humans, perhaps through the loss of a limb or 2, have been able to tame wild insectoids, transforming them into exotic pets and companions. Outside of combat or protection purposes though, taming insectoids is generally not worth the hassle, as they cannot reproduce without a hive, nor generate any jelly. Gotta say though, having a few bear-sized insects on your side is guaranteed to strike some fear in your enemies. There isn't much else to say about insectoids, which is a shame if you ask me, as I found their lore implications fascinating, and I'm really hoping to see this faction expanded upon in the future, possibly in a new update or DLC adding insectoid-based biomes, insectoid queens, and other features that for now can only be found within the vanilla faction's expanded mods, specifically the one regarding insectoids, which does a very good job in that sense, adding 60 new insectoid types and a bunch of new buildings, items, and weapons related to this faction, along with a new storyteller. With this being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I wish you all a good night, and I will see you in my next video.